Hello friendships! So, welcome to our video. And today we're going to be learning about how to do this little look here. So we've got a black smoky eye with a nice little kind of bright inner corner, a bit of a 90s moment on the lips there. So yeah, so this is my first video. Hopefully this will become a regular thing as well. A little bit about me. I am Becca. Hello. I used to be a kind of working makeup artist for quite a while. I worked for a makeup brand for just over 2 years, 2 and a bit years. But unfortunately our shop was closed down just last year. So now I am just floating about. I mean, right now no one's doing anything because we're in quarantine. But I thought I'd take advantage of this time to try and do something that I've always wanted to do. If you want to stay tuned, learn how to do this, we'll just have a little moment, just me and you can learn how to do this little eye. First thing we're going to do is we're going to use the Plouise base to This one is almost finished, so it's a bit of a struggle to get it out. Right, and we're going to use, this is actually a paintbrush. But I quite like the paintbrushes because they're synthetic bristles, it means that it doesn't soak up a load of the product that you're trying to use. So we're going to grab our emitter. I think we'll pop her about there. It's not too distracting, right? And what we're going to do is grab that. So what I do is put a little bit on the back of my hand, get a flat brush obviously, and kind of press the product into it. So you're kind of pressing both sides. Then what we're going to do, come a little bit closer, is we're going to carve out the brow just like that. So just follow your natural brow shape, or, you know, if you, I don't know, if it, maybe if you bring your brows slightly further down, just carve out whatever you would normally put your eyebrows. Then what we're going to do, this is going to look crazy before you apply eyeshadow. So that's how you're going to want it to look. So you've carved underneath your brows, you've got a really nice sort of defined line. I've just kind of blended it out a little bit on this far edge. Again, you don't really need to worry about that because that will be covered obviously eventually by our foundation and concealer and whatnot. Same with this front edge here. I do put it onto my nose, as you can see, and kind of blend it over onto the sort of the bridge of my nose. But again, you know, that you can either wipe it off with a wipe if you want to, or when it comes time to do your foundation, you can just do it over the top. Next, we are going to go in with a nice fluffy brush. If I can find one. Yeah, this one will do. And I'm going to be using a mixture of the Conspiracy palette by Jeffree Star and the James Charles palette. Contro, I know. The first colour I'm going to go in with is Tanacon. Pop this here. And you want to press that on. Now don't worry about it looking messy initially. Obviously this will all get blended out. And once you've pressed your pigment into place, I then go back in and just kind of buff out the edges. Okay, you should be ending up with something kind of like that. And what we're going to do now is grab just like a flat brush and take sort of a creamy sort of tone. I'm kind of mixing like a cream and a white together. The cream and the white shade from the James Charles palette, and just kind of pressing that on underneath the brow bone. Right, and we're going to take another fluffy brush, but just slightly smaller. I'm going to do this, just a spectrum brush. That first one I think is it's a Morphe brush. I thought it was a crown brush, never mind. It's going in with the spectrum brush. I love these. These are really, really good. Love them. The only thing is, if you use purple eyeshadow on them, it's difficult to know when they're clean because they got, you know, that kind of ombre. So the next colour we're going in with is Diet Root Beer, again from the Conspiracy palette. Once I've done my darker shade, I tend to go back in with my brush from my lighter shade and again just kind of blend them together. There we have it. Just like that. And again, another brush. We're going to go in with the really, really dark brown shade in the James Charles palette. Going to deepen up that crease further. It's such a dark brown that it's almost black. And after that, it should be kind of this point here. Okay. The next thing we're going to go in with is the black Plouise base. Now, this is a new product that I have tried. Whenever I used to do this look before, I always find a struggle with black eyeshadow was obviously getting it really nice and black. And I've tried lots of different things. Just using a straight black eyeshadow, wetting a black eyeshadow, using a cream black eyeshadow. I used to have the MAC Black Track, I think, or Backtrack, whatever it was called. It's just like, it was like a little pot kind of thing, little cream pot base. Tried that. There were cream sticks that I used to use that were just a plain black. Used to use gel eyeliner. Always very dramatic trying to use gel eyeliner. It dries too quickly. I mean, unless you find one that doesn't dry quickly and you like it, that's fine. But I always find that I struggle to kind of get the blend in the sort of crease area. Or I would find that through the day you would end up, with like eye creases in here. Where either the eyeshadow would come off or, broken down in some sort of way. But then Plouise came out with a black base and it works really, really nicely. You don't need a lot of it. This isn't obviously going to be like our opaque black base. This is just going to be like a base for the black, if that makes sense. So we're going to take a synthetic brush. You always want to use synthetic brushes for any cream or liquid items that you're using. And we're just going to start at the lash line. So that's going to be obviously our darkest point. And then we're just going to gently start blending that up into the crease. It's possibly the easiest way to do a black smoky eye, I think, anyway. This is actually only the second time that I've used this, so I think it's fairly user-friendly. What I will go in and do is just with a clean, little fluffy brush, just kind of gently buff those edges. And now I'm going to take, what's this one called? My Rides here from the Conspiracy palette, and we're just going to press that on over the top. It's a really, really good black eyeshadow. I was shooketh. Right. And that's what we are working with. So I'm going to just go back in with that really dark brown from the James Charles palette again. Why am I sitting like a creep? Just to kind of gently buff the edges. I'm actually just going to go back in the order of the colours that I used and just to kind of buff it out. Right, that's us. So I know this edge here might look a little bit crazy, but once we have the underneath part on, it'll look real regular, I promise. So another thing we're going to use today is actually a lovely item gifted to me by my wonderful friend, Miss Dave. Her name isn't actually Dave, her name is Shannon, but she gave me some peaches and cream pigments and also the pigment drops. Look at the size of that bottle. Wait, look at it. It's huge. Focus on me. There we go. I have bought pigment drops before, and I think it was the Illamasqua ones that I bought, and it's a teeny little bottle. It's literally about that big. And I don't even know where it is now. But look at that. Brilliant. Love it. So what we're going to do is open this little bad boy. Which one did we pick up? We've got Gatsby, which is a very nice, very, very sparkly, goldy, champagne-y sort of colour. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my brush into the pigment drops, and I'm gonna tap in to the stuff, get a little bit. Ooh, try to do this, and we're just gonna pop. Oh, hello. Excuse me. Hello. Who is she? Okay, we're getting a bit carried away now. Look at that. Oh. Gorgeous. I love doing like a really smoky eye and then doing like a super bright inner corner. I think it looks really, really nice. Like a really bright, sparkly inner corner. The reason I did this before I did the rest of my face because I was worried about any fallout, just with it being sort of a pigment, but I think we're actually okay. The drops, obviously, they will help. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the rest of my face because that's us kind of done for the eyes, well, for this eye. I'm going to do the other eye, do the rest of my face, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to do the underneath part of your eye. It's pretty simple, but I'll show you guys it anyway. And we are back. I know I said that I was going to show you how to do the underneath your eye, but I just looked back at the footage and it's gone a bit weird, so it's not usable. So I'll just explain it to you. So we took our lightest shade down to here, then we took our next darkest shade, and then our dark brown, and then use a tiny little bit of the black just to kind of smoke it out a little bit and to connect up this outer corner. What is, I'll quickly go over the other things that I used as well on my face. So I used the, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, the Uoma Beauty foundation. It is the Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation in the colour White Pearl, which is T2N. I also used the Kiko little contour palette just for a little bit of bronzer. I don't wear a lot of bronzer just because I am so pale. I find that a lot of bronzers can look really, really orange on me, unfortunately. So just a little bit of bronzer. The highlighter, sorry, excuse me, the highlighter I used is by Gerard Cosmetics. It's their Star Powder in Grace. It's one of my favourite highlighters. Just a really nice, kind of quite a natural sort of look, but you can amp it up by kind of spraying your face first or spraying your brush with a little bit of setting spray. You can do that. I also used the Jeffree Star's the Magic Setting Powder in Rose to set my face, and I used the NYX HD Photogenic, I think it is Photogenic concealer for underneath my eyes, and that was it. I also did my eyebrows, used the Anastasia brow pomade. Nothing really needs to be said about that because everyone knows what the pomade is, and a little bit of clear brow gel just to brush through the hairs afterwards. I did also do obviously my lips, which was the Kiko Smart lip liner in 536 and the Jeffree Star lip ammunition in Celebrity Skin. I'm not a huge fan of the lip ammunitions as much as the liquid lipsticks, but I can't. Celebrity Skin has been out of stock for ages on his website, so I haven't managed to get it in liquid form yet, but maybe it'll come back into stock soon, hopefully. But for now we've got the lip ammunition instead. So yeah, that is kind of our look finish. Oh, our lashes as well were a set that I got on Amazon somewhere, and they're quite big lashes. But I find when you're doing kind of a darker eye, you do need a slightly bigger set of lashes, or else your lashes just end up getting lost in the mix. We did a black eyeliner in the waterline as well. So you want to use a nice soft pencil, and the one I use is a Kiko one. It's the smoky liner, I think it is, but it's really, really nice and soft. You don't need to kind of scrub back and forth to use it, which is very, very nice. So that is the finished look. Just a couple of things really quickly. Feel free to follow me on my social media. I've got Instagram. I do have a Facebook page as well. It has stuff. I used to go to college in Glasgow to do makeup. It has a lot of my college work and like some of the work that I did outside as well, like photo shoots and pantomimes and plays and stuff like that. So you can go have a look at that if you really want to. You don't have to, but I'll link that down below. Everything that I post from my Instagram goes onto my Facebook page automatically, so you don't really need to follow it if you don't want to. But yeah, if you want to see more things soon, leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything specific that you would like to know about. And yeah, we'll hopefully see you again soon. Okay,